So Bathman, here we are. The deck is moving along. It's what today is the 13th of August, and we've had some delays here and such, but things are progressing. So how are you, Bathman?
Well, Wildman, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I heard though that you had a little accident taking down the old deck.
Well, yeah, but you know, really it wasn't as bad as it seems. I mean, I was lucky, certainly, and I was being careful. I mean, you can only be as careful as you can be.
Well, that's true. When I'm out there, you know, helping people do bathrooms and such, and now you know, at least being here a little bit when you're doing the deck, I understand. You know, I could fall from this step, and I'm telling you, that would be a long way, considering how tall I am.
Well, that's true.
So why don't you tell the people what you've been doing here?
Well, all right, that sounds like a plan, because it has been a long time since we've made the video here. I think the last video we made was when we were putting in the footings. So I'm going to walk along here. The trees are getting mighty big, mighty big. So as you can see, we're gonna have to back way up here so you can see everything. But we got our joists and the header, and we use the big 6x6 posts, and we got our hangers, of course. And then you got your other hangers here for hurricane hangers and such. And we had to bolt the header together, and then I had to add these other little tiny bolts in there to keep it tight, because the inspector told me that these other big lag screws weren't heavy enough to hold that. And there's like a gazillion of them in there. And then of course I had some up here in my ledger, and he said, well, you still got to add some more of those other screws in there, because he was actually supposed to have more lag screws in there than what you had. And I'm like, oh my god, it took forever to put those in as it was. And you can see here we got some of our skirting board that will go actually along the rim joists here to, you know, finish it off all nice. And you see where those lag screws are in there? Well, with when I mount the railings, they will see, I put those 4x4s in there because the railing clamp will fit down on top of that, and then I have something to put my lags into there. And we got our stringer here, and Bathman, you'd be very proud of me. I cut these stringers all by hand by myself. The other ones we bought at Menards, where you save big money, but I cut all these by hand, and so I was pretty proud of yourself on that.
Well, that's pretty good, Wildman. You're a cutting kind of guy, and that's not even when you're just eating beans.
Oh, Bathman, you're so funny. And we have these cross pieces on here just for extra added support until everything's all secured together. And if I can move my body up the stairs here, or lack thereof, without falling. You want to come up with me, Bathman? I'll lend you a hand.
Thanks, Wildman. I appreciate a good hand whenever I can get one. Now be careful. There's nothing to hang on to, and you got cameras in your hand and things of that sort.
Well, you're right. Here, you want to stand in the shade, or how about right here on top of this electrical outlet?
Well, that's a good place to stand. I can see everything from here.
You can. So here's what we had going on here, Bathman. We had this decking goes together with little clips that go in here. Well, I tried with numerous other times to get that started and have that work, and it just didn't work. The clips, I tried one set of clips and then some other clips, and I couldn't get it to go for whatever reason. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because then I realized, because I had to have butt joints, and I hate butt joints. They're horrible. And the boards, my longest boards, are 20 feet long, and the deck is 25 to there. And then I got the great idea, if I put everything on the bias, then I won't have to have any seams, because the deck is only 10 feet deep, because as it moves, it'll work good enough there so to make the trip. So today I started putting screwing these down, my composite Ultra deck here, and I got my screw lines are really nice and straight, and you can't go any closer out than 3/4 of an inch, because otherwise it will split and you have to pre-drill everything. But I'm gonna wait till maybe tomorrow and put some more on here, because it just gets too hot and this stuff expands and contracts with the heat. So that's kind of about it. So Bathman, anything last that you want to say?
Well, Wildman, I think that you're coming along here, and I can't wait till you get the other decking on, so then you can put the lid on, and then you can be out here in the wintertime grilling without having snow all over you. Yeah, well, that'll be nice. That truly will. Anything else? No, that's it. Say goodbye now.
Goodbye now.